Hey there my lovelies, and welcome to my booktube channel, The Sassy Library Fox. My name is V, and today we're already going for my June wrap up. I know there's still a couple of days left in June, but I also know that I won't read any more books or won't finish any more books in June for that matter, because we're currently going through such a horrible heat wave that they are actually telling us we will have 40 degrees Celsius, I might add, on the weekend. Yeah, if I look a little bit wet in the face, it's because I'm recording this from home and we already have 28 degrees in our flat and I can't get that heat out anymore. There were tropical nights with temperatures with more than 20 degrees, so the air is basically standing in this room. So please never mind my glistening skin. I should have taken a fan or something. I have all the windows open right now because a little bit of cooler air than 28 degrees is coming from outside. So if you hear background noise, I'm sorry, but this is what we're working with today. If it gets too loud, I will make a pause and cut the video there. Anyway, enough of the heat wave, enough of sweating like a little piglet. It's really hot here, honestly, but if I don't record this video now, I probably never will, because as it seems, it's only going to get worse from here on out. Yeah. Something to look forward to, right? Anyway, I got my coffee at the ready. I should have probably gone with an iced one, but I'm not that huge of a fan of iced coffee, so I took my warm one. And isn't it that people say you should drink warm beverages when it's hot? Yeah, anyway. I will talk about the just three books I managed to read in June now. It was way too hot to get any reading done, and as I recently found out, the operating temperature of my Kindle is 0 to 35 degrees. Turns out the trains I used to commute from and to work are way hotter than that, because my Kindle just shut itself down. I never knew it could have more than 35 degrees on a train, but obviously we managed to do that. So the only book I managed to read during this heat wave is actually a physical one, and I'm still currently reading it, and all the other books that are on my e-readers will have to wait, because at night when I could read them, I'm just too tired to pick them up. I'm sorry for all the arcs I got to read. They're all on my Kindle, and yeah, temperatures are not kind to my Kindle. Let's put it that way. Anyway, back to the three books I read, and now really the three books. The birds are really loud outside. Anyway, we're just gonna make do with those loud birds. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee here. And I'm going to talk about the first book I read in June, and it was Idle Price by K.T. Salvo. I got it as a reading copy from the author themselves, and I already loved the first trilogy, and this is somewhat standing on its own but also connected to the original trilogy, if that makes sense. Anyway, this time around we follow two dancers, singers, people that want to become idols. One of them is Min Jae and the other one is Andy, and I love those two so much. This was really great because they're both taking part in a competition for a place in an idol boy group, and they are facing a lot of challenges, dancing challenges, where they have to show what they are made of. There are quite a lot of challenges, always with a song of other idols that they have to interpret in their own way and or remodel and reinvent or whatever. I love the challenges, those were really great. But yeah, at the center of it all there is Andy Kim and Min Jae, and they are both vying for the first spot. And it was really great to follow those two. At first they are rivals, but then a group project puts them together in one of the competing groups, and they have to work together and to put their differences aside. And then they realize that there is more to their rivalry than they initially thought. There is a lot of chemistry as well. Unfortunately, the idol system in South Korea is still not all too queer friendly, and yeah. I really enjoyed that one. I was at the edge of my seat whenever they had a dancing competition. I absolutely loved and adored, as a former dancer, I might add, I loved and adored the scenes when they spoke about dancing and how dancing felt for them, and the author really described it so vividly. I could imagine them dancing like that and putting their soul and heart into their performance. And I just loved dancing scenes, they were amazing. One of the best things about this book, legit. And also, of course, the romance. I loved that Min Jae and Andy were so different and still fit together so perfectly. And their rivalry on screen, their heated moments behind the scenes, it was all just amazing. I loved Min Jae's grandmother. She was an amazing side character. Really, seriously, so great. But yeah, the ending was quite something. It threw me for a loop, and that's really hard to achieve these days. So wow, after that ending, I really need to read the next book. I hope Katie is already working on it, because I need to know how Andy and Min Jae's journey continues. I'm hooked now, and I want to know what they're up to next. So I rated that one with 1.5 paws because it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was great, and I can't wait to read the second book. Okay, let me take a sip here of my super hot coffee. Cheers. Sarcasm never, not on my channel. Okay, the second book I read and also rated with 4.5 paws was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And what I didn't know when I picked up the book was that it's actually a sapphic romance. I mean, on the blurb I already saw that it was named Atmosphere, a love story, but I didn't connect the dots that it might be a love story about two women falling in love. I only realized that when I read a little bit of the blurb and a couple of reviews beforehand. Yeah, but I absolutely love that one because it follows Joanne Goodwin and Vanessa Ford, and they are both training to become astronauts. NASA is hiring or employing female astronauts in the 1980s, and both of these women want to be the first in space. So they are taking part in the program and they are training for it, and they eventually get closer to each other through it. I really liked Atmosphere, and yeah, that might sound crazy, but I also love the atmosphere of Atmosphere because the build up and how it began, it really started with quite the bang. and then managed to keep me on my seat. And I wanted to know, we're basically starting in the current situation in 1984, but we also get flashbacks to the years before and what happened and how the feelings between Vanessa and Joanne developed, and Joanne's family life. She has a sister named Barbara and a niece named Frances, and she loves her niece so much. It's really, I loved the relationship Frances and Joanne had with each other. They were, Frances really felt like she was actually Joanne's kid, because Joanne would have done everything for that little girl. And I just loved the relationship of Joanne with Frances and Joanne's relationship with Vanessa, but also their relationship with all the other astronauts. It was like a family, and everyone was watching out for each other, even though they were competing to be the first ones in space. But yeah, I just loved this book. It had me at the edge of my seat at some scenes, and also it had me crying. Yeah, I don't know when was the last time I actually cried after reading a book, but that one definitely caused me to cry. It was great. It was really, if you want to read an amazing sapphic love story with strong women that are going for what they want, namely to go up in space and to be the first women in space, then yeah, you definitely should read this one. And as always, Taylor Jenkins Reid managed to dive into the little niche she decided to write about. She always does a lot of research, and she always manages to bring that theme closer to the reader. I never knew anything about tennis. I never knew anything about movie stars in the past, in the 50s, 60s, whatever. But every single book I ever read from Taylor Jenkins Reid managed to get me into that niche and that special place. I don't know how she does it. I honestly don't, but she does it so amazingly. And the last and final book I read was Icarus. I still have it at home with me. I had to prolong it from my library because I just couldn't finish it in time. It was just too hot to finish it in time. I asked my library to prolong it, and thankfully they did. Ancrum wrote really such an amazing story. I think if you've loved The Song of Achilles, and if you've loved This Is How You Lose the Time War, then you will really enjoy that one as well. The writing style is amazing. I rated that one with 5 paws because it was just great. It was amazing, awesome. All the words that describe perfect book, at least for me it was. And as for what it is about, it's basically about Icarus Gallagher, and Icarus Gallagher is a thief. He goes to school, but at night he always breaks into the house of Mr. Black. And he does this because his father asked him to. His father is Angus, and Angus and Mr. Black have some beef ever since Mr. Black didn't help him when his wife died. Yeah, there is a lot of background story which I won't dive into, but this is basically why they break in, or why Icarus breaks in to Mr. Black's house, mansion, whatever. And he doesn't just steal the art there, he also replaces it with replicas his father Angus makes. Yeah. His father's normal job is to restaurate art that has gone bad, or the colors aren't that vivid anymore, and then he gets it from the museum and tries to relive the painting and to do it exactly the way the painting was done years before. So he is good at creating forgeries, obviously. He knows all the stuff about it, and he makes his living with it. And he taught Icarus as well, but so far Icarus is just exchanging the masterpieces in Mr. Black's mansion with replicas. So yeah, one night Icarus breaks into the house once again and gets caught, but not by Mr. Black, by his son Helios. And their first encounter was really funny. Icarus was so shocked, and Helios was like whatever. But those two strike a deal, because Helios is kind of imprisoned there after something he did, and Icarus is forced to accompany him and to become his friend, because Helios is so alone. He even wants to befriend a thief because he's so alone in that house. And yeah, their mutual understanding slowly turns into friendship and then into more. And yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but it was a really lovely story. I loved the prose. I loved Icarus and his friends and how he finally opened up to them, how they were allowed to get closer to him after he met Helios. There was a lot of representation I rarely see in books. This one has an intersex representation and also an EDS representation, which I loved, by the way. It was not in the focus of the book, but it was still there and it made sense in the book. So I really, really liked that. Also, the grief of Icarus and Angus is so palpable, and it was just, this book was so beautiful. The prose was what really got me. Also, Icarus breaking into the house every time and hoping that Mr. Black won't find out about him and Helios. It was suspenseful up until the very last minute. I really liked Icarus' friends, Celestina, Luca, Julian. They were all interesting in their own ways. And yeah, the ending, I won't spoil the ending. You gotta read that book for yourself. It's really worth to be read. It's great. Read it. I won't spoil anything. You got the tools from me to decide if this book is for you or not, but I won't spoil anything about the ending or how the book progresses. You gotta read that for yourself. Okay, so this said, I'm gonna take my last sip here, and I'm going to finish this video now because it's probably already way too long after me rambling about temperatures and the heat, which didn't get any better, by the way. I think I might have to close the windows now because it's way too hot here. Anyway, those were the 3 books I actually managed to read and finish in June. 2 of them I finished at the beginning of the month. And Icarus was the last one I managed to finish about 2 weeks ago, before the heatwave hit. Yeah, before I get heat stroke in front of the camera, I will end it here. I want to know if you've read the 3 books I spoke about in my wrap-up video, and if yes, if you enjoyed them or not. If you're planning to read them, that would be interesting as well. What you read in June, did you manage to read more books than I did? Quite honestly, you had to do better than me, because 3 books is really a new low to me. But yeah, the heat just wouldn't allow me to pick up more. And yeah, is it hot in your country as well? This would be interesting for me too, because if temperatures continue to be like that, I might just travel abroad and go somewhere else where it's nicer and where there are more moderate temperatures. I'm just kidding, I will stay in Austria. But anyway, there's a thought, yeah. Okay, so this is it. That's my wrap up of June. I hope wherever you are, it's cold and nice and with moderate temperatures. And if it's hot in your country, I hope you will find a spot where it's a little bit cooler and where you can relax and recuperate from the heat. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it. We're already at the ending of my video and there's nothing left to say except of take care, stay healthy and safe, and see you around the next time. Bye!